As far as CDs go, shit, it's probably worth back. Something like that. I mean, there's always a little punk in your rock and a little punk in your fucking metal and a little metal in your punk. So it's a thin line. But I don't know. Years ago, whatever.
All right. Well, Javier, you have to catch up and give me 2 questions, 2 answers. Your first Gilman and then your first punk, or either order.
First punk show ever was probably right after high school in Peru. Just watching some bands from over there, you know, like. Well, you don't have the chance that Rancid will go to your town, or that Green Day will go and play like at
someday
in Lima or something like that, you know. So but there were some great pissed off, angry, fucking bullshit bands over there. You know what I mean? And with back in that time, like it was pretty times of crisis in Peru, and I guess that's where the kids had.
What year was that?
2001, I guess.
All right, tell me what's going on in Peru in 2001.
Well, there was this guy that his last name was Fujimori, and he was the president, and he pretty much re-elected himself after he lost the elections, and everybody just went, really crazy into it, and I don't know, they just wanted the guy out, and a bunch of bands and a bunch of ways of protest came out in the city, and I don't know, punk rock was the most beautiful one out of all of them, so it was really cool to just be a part of it and go to shows, It was fun.
I lost track. Where are you with the questions?
In the first one.
All right. So what about Gilman?
Gilman Street. 2002 probably when I came here. I think it was the Groovy Ghoulies though. Groovy Ghoulies. And I remember I went to Kepi and I was like, dude, I love your band. And he was like, oh, thank you. Or something. you know how Kepi goes?
Yeah.
That's really nice of you. Or something. But he was a total nice dude though. I cannot say anything wrong about the guy. And it was an awesome show. Groovy Ghoulies.
I am an urban studies major, so I'm really I don't want to hound this Peruvian thing to death, but I remember this guy in Pinochet. My experience, I was about this tall, all of 4 years old or 5 years old, and so there's Hispanic people around, El Cerrito, whatever. I guess all the Californian cities have Spanish names, whatever. No big deal. Little kids don't really make distinctions about those kinds of things. But then later, when I was old enough to understand the differences, at some point there was this vortex from the south that kind of basically psychically mind-fucked everything. And I look at that happened around the time that Pinochet came to power. So if you want to talk about politics or anything, you always feel free to do so around me, because but if you don't, that's also equally okay.
I guess not right now.
Okay. Yeah, no,
that's Chile, right?
Yeah, that's in Chile.
Oh, I was in Chile? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I better do some studying before I ask questions.
I think in general punk rock is just basically politics of lyrics. It doesn't matter if you're singing about going drinking and fuck up the police or something like that, or if you're singing about government or something. It's, I don't know, what really comes just out of your heart and head,
Hopefully, yeah.
Agree, Javi.
Well, thanks, bro. All right. What's your name again? I'm sorry. Brian. Damn it. All right. So, your first show ever? Concert? Just music?
First show, I think, was probably in 98 or 99. I was kind of a late starter. I think it was actually The Offspring.
Oh.
So a little bit more mainstream, but not too bad. They're still early in their career. So it's very not as right into it as much as everyone else. I actually probably didn't get into music as well as punk music until I was probably 15 or 16, which I know is really late for most people. And that wasn't even because of a show. That was just because of a record my friend gave me. And that was Rancid, Out Come the Wolves. As soon as I heard that first song, I was sold. So that's how that all started for me. And then I just started playing, and it was mostly local stuff after that. But yeah, so first show, Offspring, and then I think after that, just a lot of local bands up in Sacramento area. And those bands, I love them still today. That really defined my style and how I view everything as the punk music goes.
All right. So I have to ask you a question. Ask the same question to 3 other people. So tell me something. You guys are talking a lot about influences. You guys are in this great band called Bum City Saints, and you guys sound pretty tight. And I think you've got like a future as far like musically and like ideologically. I think maybe there are things that are working for you in certain ways that I think you should definitely continue to pursue. Yeah, what are your influences? What are your motivations, and where do you think it's going?
Musical influence or just influence?
Just influences.
Influences.
Could be anything. Music's fine by me, yeah.
Yeah, well, musical influences. Like I said, I got started late, so Rancid's fourth album or something like that. Then I started playing music in high school, and at that point it was probably like pop punk kind of stuff going on. But then as soon as I graduated high school, I ended up in a band in Sacramento that was definitely a punk band, and started going on tours and things like that. So I really started getting schooled on older punk, and that's when I discovered The Clash, and that's my all-time influence. Definitely Clash and Rancid. And I mean, as cliche as it sounds, it's just influences in general. I mean, just life is always going to be an influence for music, and that's, I mean, what it is for me, and I think for the entire band as a whole, is this is honestly the highlight of my week, my day, is when I get to go and bang my drums, you know, for 3.5 hours or whatever it is, and hang out with these guys, or even just right now, this, like, playing shows and just even going to shows, but you can't beat actually being on stage for, 20-30 minutes. And you can't explain it either. You just really have to experience it, and it's the greatest part of my life right now, definitely. And I'm definitely happy that I can say that and that I'm able to be doing it. So I thank these guys for that, because I was the final addition to this band, and I had a lot of competitors, that it sounds like, beforehand, but
not as tight.
I took it. So
They were cool.
yeah.
All right. So Javier, we're not going to talk about all the ghosts of the past. There is one question about South America that I'm burning to ask you.
Hope I can get it.
Something's happened recently. There's been a really big major change for South America. It's monumental. It's the first time this has ever happened in the world. Do you have any idea what I'm talking about?
Not really.
What do you think about the Olympics in Rio?
Oh, that's right.
Well, they already approved it?
Yes, they did this morning.
What's up now?
You know how, have you ever been to San Francisco and downtown? And I know this is when I get the question. Do you know, and you see this big Marriott hotel?
Yeah.
Right around the corner, you see a bunch of bums and, homeless people. That's exactly how Brazil is. Brazil is probably the place that has the most fucking amount of poverty
Favela.
in South America.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And children, man.
Yeah, and there, yes, and then to be ridiculous enough to,
I knew I can get a political question out of you.
to be ridiculous enough to it's kind of like if I don't have money for the bus and I go and get myself a car deal, you know what I mean? That's ridiculous, but I mean, to me it's an insult, personally. I'm not Brazilian, but,
You would rather the Olympics be in Peru? No, okay.
But imagine what you could do with that money. I mean, it's...
Well, yeah.
Yeah, but then you gotta build.
No, but in general, the country. Imagine what the fucking country.
You know how much you go in debt?
That money is better spent not in the Olympics,
Well,
but on the fucking people
But
that
it's
need
not
it.
good. Yeah, exactly.
We can all say that Beijing's been highly criticized by the world for their
money they spend.
how much selling out
yeah.
and adhering to the transnational neoliberal globalization politics, you know, just to put on a big sports arena show, you know. So I can see when you say it's an insult. Yeah, it's not necessarily. I mean,
Smoke screen.
yeah, there's a reason why in the Atlanta Olympics somebody set out a bomb. I mean, you know, it's not all. I mean, it was kind of amateur night, but just the same, it's like it was a bomb.
Yeah, of course it is.
So you know, I hear you on that one. Is it well? So you're in this band called Bum City Saints. We'll just kind of steer away from the politics for a minute again. So if you kind of remember the question I asked Brian, and
you're talking about influences?
Yeah, your influences, and then you know how's this form? What do you think this is doing for your band? Where do you think this is leading your band? What are you guys going to do with it? And where are you guys ultimately going?
I think I've always been to shows, and you know, you as a member of the audience, that you play yourself. You know, it is cool to go to a show. It is cool to, you know, be in a circle pit or whatever. But there's nothing like making that happen. You know what I mean? And like, I don't know, second chord tonight, like all these kids running in circles. It's like, dude. I mean, I just cannot describe that, man. You know, and as for influences go, I think I always liked bands that I could tell they were true, like whatever the hell they were saying, you know, like they actually meant it. And that goes from like, I don't know, like local bands in Peru to, yeah, I can even say The Clash and all those bands. You know, the Ramones, they were not necessarily the political band out there, but they were, you know, they were just, you know, guys being themselves, singing what they did in the everyday, you know, and that's really important, I think. You know, we don't sing about, oh yeah, let's go pimp outside, you know, like fucking, yeah, we just sing about how much sometimes work sucks, how much, you know, how much you like getting fucked up every now and then, you know, and like, I don't know, just being honest. And I think that's really important.